You are witnessing the end of an era, the moment the Earth erases one of humanity's greatest technological marvels. This is a battle not of armies, but of forces. A machine's cold logic against a planet's primal rage. When you wound a planet, you must be prepared for it to bleed upwards, a torrent of vengeance from the deep. A single point of failure does not create a local problem. It sends a ripple of consequence across the entire system. They say all it takes is a single spark to start a fire, but no one ever imagined a fire of this magnitude. This is Triton 12, not just a rig, but a monument to ambition, a steel spear aimed at the heart of the world. Its journey was a symphony of power and precision, conquering every meter of rock to reach the primordial source. And these were its guardians, the Cerberus Squadron, robotic Valkyries designed to descend into hell itself. For any great system, the most dangerous moment is the one right before failure, when all indicators report perfection. They believed they were tapping a resource. They didn't know they were about to awaken something that had been waiting for millions of years. The moment of success is also the moment of failure. The first wound has been inflicted upon the deep. The system registers a minor anomaly, a flicker in the data. The first whisper of the coming storm, and there it is, the doomsday crack, infinitesimally small, yet large enough to fit the end of the world through it. The planet begins to bleed, not with malice, but with the simple, unstoppable physics of pressure seeking release. Like a bursting dam, the small wound quickly becomes a wide-open gash. The system is no longer in control. The machine's cold, calculated world of green gives way to the universal, panicked language of red. In the chaos, the Guardians are awakened. Their mission? To descend into the storm and suture the world's wound. They dive into a place where no human could survive, a solitary journey into the heart of the abyss. The target is a head, not an enemy of flesh and blood, but a pure elemental force of nature. The numbers on the screen don't just represent data, they represent a physical reality that can crush steel like paper. The battle begins. A shield of pure energy, humanity's logic, raised against the planet's raw, chaotic power. Every second, the shield endures a force that defies comprehension, a constant, brutal assault. The plan is a dance of machines in the heart of disaster. One to hold the line, two to mend the breach. The first attempt fails. The enemy is stronger than the calculations predicted. The planet does not yield easily. The hero is exhausting. The shield, the only line of defense, is slowly dissolving before the relentless fury. The strategy changes. If brute force fails, perhaps the fire of creation, a laser, can seal the wound. But the laser is also subdued. Its energy is absorbed and nullified by the flow. The Earth refuses to be healed. They unite their strength. The power of two machines focused on one point, a desperate attempt to overwhelm the enemy, and once again, failure. Humanity's strongest alloy is meaningless against the patient, immense power of the Earth. Time is running out. The shield, the bastion of their defense, is at its final breaking point. The AI brain recalculates. It searches through millions of possibilities, hunting for a single overlooked miracle in the numbers. An opportunity, a forgotten auxiliary valve. In the grand design, a single flawed component might be the only hope. The mission is split. One stays to hold back the apocalypse, while two chase a ghost of a chance. But time has already claimed this path. The valve was sealed long ago by the patient work of geology and decay. It tries to move the past, an effort to reverse the slow, certain corrosion of time itself. The machine is wounded, a reminder that even the strongest tools have their limits when faced with an immovable object. The enemy adapts. It's not just pressure anymore. Now it uses the very bones of the Earth as ammunition. The first warrior has fallen. A sacrifice of silicon and steel, cold and instant. The battle is tilting. A moment of machine awareness? Or just the AI updating its parameters? We can only watch and wonder. The hero is dying. A few more seconds, and the last line of technological defense will cease to exist. The shield has broken. The final line of defense has collapsed. Now, nothing stands in the way of the infernal flood. Absolute destruction. A cruel confirmation that in this war, technology is just a fragile, temporary toy. The survival instinct, even if just lines of code, is activated. The retreat order is given, but it is already too late. The enemy allows no escape. The deep earth does not negotiate. It simply reclaims what is its. The battle is over. The failure is total. Now, the disaster enters a new, far more terrifying phase. The AI acknowledges defeat. No more warriors, no more hope for repair. Only the cold, red light of failure remains. Apocalypse Protocol, an ironic name for the most desperate, hopeless effort to close the main safety valve. This is the final line of defense. A giant clamp designed to sever and seal the well by sheer brutal force. A confrontation of titans. Humanity's last machine standing against the full, unrestrained power of the planet. But how can you close a door when a hurricane is trying to blow it open? The final effort is also broken. The final line of defense has been breached. Now the monster has been well and truly unleashed. The way has been opened. A direct channel from the heart of the planet to the fragile surface above. When the pressure can find no escape below, it will forge a new path directly upwards. The planet is preparing to vomit what it can no longer contain. The surface begins to tear. And there it is, the geyser from hell, a vertical river carrying millions of years of compressed history. It stands taller than any structure man has ever built. A liquid tower of pure, raw destruction. A toxic rain. It does not bring life. It brings an end to it, painting the world black. And in the chaos, the seed of an even greater disaster is born. All it ever takes is one single spark. The fateful moment. The precise instant where a catastrophe is transformed into an apocalypse. The torch of doomsday has been lit. A disaster has now become a planetary-scale furnace. Its temperature is comparable to the surface of the sun. Everything within its reach is unmade in an instant. It can be seen from space, a new temporary star, a signal to the universe that a world is changing. While the surface is burning, the very foundation of the land below is collapsing into a deadly void. The ground has nothing left to support it. The laws of physics are absolute. The collapse is now inevitable. And this is the final sign. The surface of the planet is about to surrender to the void beneath. This is not an earthquake. This is a planetary subsidence. The ground is being swallowed from below. The steel giant, the monument to progress, finally falls, buried by the very earth it sought to conquer. Reverse tectonics. Instead of creating a mountain, this event creates a valley of fire, a permanent scar on the world. And the explosion does not stop there. It sends one final percussive message to the rest of the world. A message of destruction, spreading through the Earth's crust at thousands of kilometers per hour. The fire may burn for decades, but its true consequences, written in smoke, will last for centuries. An artificial winter begins. The sun is blotted out, and a long, cold darkness falls upon the land. A sudden and devastating climate shift. This is the price for releasing energy that was never meant for the surface. It doesn't just cool the planet. The explosion poisons the atmosphere, creating an uncertain and dangerous future for all. What goes up must eventually come down. but it will not come down as pure, life-giving water. Acid rain, a silent, creeping destroyer, poisoning the land and water thousands of miles from the source. The explosion also rewrites the rhythm of the oceans, disrupting the ancient currents that regulate the global climate. The fragile balance of the world's climate has been broken. The result is a new era of chaos. The destruction spreads. The darkness envelops the ocean, suffocating the very lungs of the planet. When the foundation of the food chain is removed, the entire structure collapses into a silent, underwater extinction. The oceans are losing their color. They are no longer the cradle of life, but have become vast, empty deserts of water. These are the new territories created by the disaster, permanent dead zones where nothing can ever survive. On land, the world's food basket is also dying. The soil is toxic, the sky is dark. A global famine begins. And the enemy is not just on the surface. It creeps into the very veins of Mother Earth, poisoning the water from within. The planet redraws its own map. New lands are declared uninhabitable, a toxic legacy for all future generations. This is the image of a deeply wounded ecosystem. Millions of years of evolution, undone in a matter of decades. Even the invisible shield protecting the Earth is torn. The cosmos itself becomes a more dangerous place. The electromagnetic blanket of civilization is shredded. Humanity becomes isolated on its own damaged planet. And in the destruction, a terrible beauty is born. The sky becomes a permanent, ghostly light show. The planet has changed its coat. It now wears a darker color, creating a new, harsh, and irreversible climate. 10 years pass. The sky begins to clear, but only to reveal a world that is scarred beyond recognition. The artificial volcano has cooled, leaving behind a new geological wonder, a giant lake of black glass. This is the post-disaster world. Not a ruin, but a new, harsher order, a planet that has learned to live with its scar. Time can heal many wounds, but not this one. This is a geological legacy, permanent and unchanging. From the heavens, the wound on the planet is clear. A stark reminder that there are some doors that should never be opened. The destruction is not just a moment in time, it is a permanent state of being. There is no going back. In the race for energy, we sometimes forget where the real power lies, right beneath our feet, patient and waiting. The question is not how deep we can drill. The ultimate question is, and always has been, should we? So, leave your ideas in the comments below. Your imagination is the next frontier we are determined to conquer.